Black Ops 7 Zombies is officially on its way, and I was lucky enough to be invited to a creator call going over Black Ops 7 Zombies. From the new map, to new perks, field upgrades and equipment, to the brand new mode with legacy features including the classic point system and pistol starts, I am so excited to share with you everything I know about Black Ops 7 Zombies. So let's dive into this blog post and share with you all of the information you want to hear. Starting with our new map, Ashes of the Damned. The story picks up where we left off at the culmination of Black Ops 6's reckoning. Players would be wise to question exactly where this new crew has been transported to. The entire Black Ops 7 story takes place within the beating heart of the Dark Ether, including future maps as different timelines collide in the form of a combined 8-person crew. And look at this beautiful artwork you guys have been seeing. We have an 8-player dedicated crew. You could still choose any operator in Zombies. You'll just experience additional conversations and the richest story if you and your teammates choose from the crew. The entire Black Ops 7 Zombies experience is a wild ride across the Dark Ether, with a full complement of maps planned across the post-launch seasons. Expect more round-based maps, the second of which will drop during Season 1, as well as additional survival maps throughout the seasons. Now, I specifically asked Kevin Drew himself about survival maps and the cadence of what we can expect to see throughout the seasons. Obviously, he can't reveal everything, let's be reasonable here, and take this with a grain of salt, but from what I could see, he kind of smiled and he said there will be quite a bit of survival maps. So that is something to definitely look forward to, especially now that we're going to be able to play one in the beta. And look at this environment. This map has been described as an off-world Bermuda Triangle, where various earthly and celestial locations were transported and dropped into this place, beginning with a twisted otherworldly Janus Towers that once resided in Liberty Falls. There are 6 terrifying and surreal main locations to investigate, all linked together by treacherous and unforgiving roadways, teeming with deadly threats. Now, I do want to talk about this. I have some more information, but let's continue on because I think there's a picture. So we're going through here all of these different locations. If you don't want to see this, exit 115, dude, that is huge for the story. This looks so good. I can't wait to play this. Ascension, or Launch if you're a multiplayer guy. It's definitely Launch, but you know, those two maps are basically the same. We have the Fog. This location looks really, really cool. I do want to skip over that because I know a lot of people don't want to actually see a whole bunch of the map though. Now, what I will say about the map though, is while there are 6 main locations, there are routes in between the locations that also serve as gameplay. I know we think of the transit style map like Transit, where you have like Diner here and then there's no playable space in between Diner and Town, or I guess it would be Diner and the power station, but that didn't look to be the case when I saw the overview of the map. Which brings us to the next thing we need to talk about, the Wonder Vehicle, Old Tessie. This is the image that we saw in that creator call. Obviously we saw it in the trailer too. We have these abomination heads here that apparently shoot out lasers. You can see this is kind of like the DG2 turret. It's not really a Wonder Waff, but you can have that turret on top there. The truck is tough, but it isn't impervious to the forces of the Dark Ether. It can become temporarily inoperable. Keep an eye on its reinforced steel frame and react accordingly if Old Tessa needs a pit stop. Methods to repair this Wonder Vehicle remain to be seen. They specifically said that when you're in between the main sections of the map, there's gonna be like super sprinters sprinting at you. The areas outside of the main areas where the Fog is, kind of like Transit it seems to be, they seemingly don't abide by the same round-based rules. And they specify that this zombie bear and these other special bosses are really detrimental to Old Tessie. And I know we're gonna cover it, but this zombie bear is officially called a Zursa, and these tiny things are called Ravagers, and they look so good. But now let's talk about something that I didn't even know about, the new wonder weapon, the Necrofluid Guantlet. In addition to blasting maggot sacks to atoms with the classic ray gun and the ray gun Mark II, there's a brand new wonder weapon to wield in Ashes of the Damned. Upon discovery, the Necrofluid Gauntlet is a black skull-fanged glove that glows with a bilious greenish hue. This ancient artifact seems to be deadly at both melee and long ranges. That's actually really good with melee macchiato. Its umbral surface veins choked by a viscous liquid that the gauntlet seems to control. In fact, the entire weapon seems alive and hungry. Let's go! That to me screams like it's from Ancient Evil, but it's sort of warped and twisted in a different way. Command the gauntlet, and the dark liquid can be reshaped into powerful spikes that shoot forth, skewing targets at range before being summoned back into the gauntlet, inflicting further damage. It's rumored that the Necrofluid Guantlet has vampiric tendencies and can pull in items and power-ups from a distance. That's so good. Look at it. Oh, that looks so sick. Look at those zombie models too. Those zombie models are really good. And yes, of course, here we get 2 base zombies and armored zombies, the foundation of every horde. Then we have the Ravagers. Said to be a tortured minion of an unknown evil, the Ravager prowls the dark ether on all 4s, usually in packs, to which in the creator call they said that those packs are sensationally dangerous, lurking in the shadows until the moment it can strike. Drawn to the material spoils, the creature consumes salvage and other dropped provisions. That's so good, Treyarch. That's so good. A habit that can directly impact your survival in the field. Packs of Ravagers are especially dangerous, overwhelming squads with relentless flurries of sharp clawed wounding. More than just scavengers, Ravagers can also latch onto moving vehicles even at high speeds. So this is basically the new Denizen. If you're trying to get away from zombies in your Wonder Vehicle and old Tessie, these guys are gonna come in and you need to deal with them. And here we have Zursa, an apex predator twisted by the dark ether. The Zursa is no ordinary bear, but a hulking undead monstrosity whose thick hide and parasitic infestations make it an elite level threat. Driven by madness and aggression, it mauls with bite and claw strikes that not only deal heavy damage, but also wound victims, leaving them vulnerable to lingering harm until they recover. So this very much sounds like the vampires from Dead of the Night preventing your health regeneration. We'll see if that's true, but look at how beautiful that is. When the Zursa roars into combat, expect it to charge on all 4s, battering through teams or slamming into old Tessie. As if its raw strength weren't enough, the Zursa is host to parasitic insects, so-called zombies. Oh, that's good. That swarm from hive-like growths infesting from the beast's fur and skin. These clouds of stinging death add chaos to an already fraught fight. When taking on alone, the Zursa is a towering menace. Amid other threats, it becomes a mauling engine of devastation. And I am happy, so happy to provide you perhaps maybe some exclusive information here. The Zombies team and Kevin Drew said that with these special enemies and with Black Ops 7, they are attempting to peel back on the boss zombie spam. Now, what that means exactly for everybody, I don't exactly know, but they did say they want these high rounds to feel a little bit more like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 in regards to the special and elite enemies. Now, once again, what that means for everybody might be different, but for me, that means that this zombie bear, this Zursa, and these other special enemies, these Ravagers, might be more temporary. They might come in and they might not as overwhelm us as all of the Manglers and all of the Doppelgasts did here in Black Ops 6, which in my opinion is a fantastic change. But now we get to hear about some more fantastic changes. General intel. Black Ops 7 changes to enemies' audio cues. Did you hear that? Expect to hear a special round audio stinger when zombie strength increases as the rounds progress. Lots of people didn't like how the damage scaling didn't have any way of communicating to the player. I personally didn't mind it all that much because increasing zombie numbers and increasing zombie health isn't also communicated to the player, so but whatever. Hey, they found a solution. Hopefully it's good enough. Fewer super sprinters. We love to see it. Fast-moving zombies, aka super sprinters, which start to appear at higher rounds, will increase in frequency at a lower rate. As rounds continue past 55, the maximum number of super sprinters in a round will be lowered slightly, while still keeping the challenge high. Here's the good stuff. Heavy and light armored zombies are weighed down by their protective skeletal armor and are slower and more durable. Check this out, beautiful people. Armored zombies are no longer super sprinting in higher rounds. This is what we asked for. Literally on my Twitter in that video, you guys loved it. I said, hey, What if super sprinters never had armor? You guys were all for it, and they literally did it. Now, I don't think they saw my video or read my tweet. The timeline just doesn't match up, but it is so good to hear this. However, overall, zombie armor is more easily destroyed, but more durable against explosive splash damage. Wonderful balancing. Wonderful. Certain weapon and attachment combinations are more effective at armored zombie takedowns. I'm thinking FMJ. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's very interesting. What we should also be excited for is sliding knockdowns. Sliding into a normal zombie knocks it down, but doesn't inflict a lot of damage. This is PhD by default. This is going to change the meta of PhD, along with all of the different augment combinations that we're now going to be able to do. Beautiful people, you are not even ready for this game. By default, sliding into normal zombies, knocking them down, breaking away is going to make high rounds so much better, and general gameplay feels so much good. In the creator call, they were really excited about this. They said, we loved how it felt with PhD, and we just wanted to bring that into the normal mode. Now, going back, talking about super sprinters and armored zombies, they did mention that super sprinters and armored zombies might deal more damage. I don't know if that means that they're just going to, by default, deal the normal scaling damage as normal, or if those super sprinters and the armored zombies are going to be more dangerous and deal more damage to you. Along with this, the high round adjustments, as well as the enemies that we were just talking about, they said that they want to have less range-focused enemies, less projectile-based enemies, more dodging focus. They want your movement to be a big, heavy emphasis here in high rounds. And they said, no manglers, ... for now, which can be alarming, we'll see. And they did want to emphasize that yes, there will be fewer super sprinters, but in Ashes of the Damned, with the way the map is, with the fog, super sprinters will be kind of natural to the map. At least that's the sentiment that I got, because, if you go in transit and you go into the fog, there's denizens all the time. So I imagine if you're on your Wonder Vehicle, Tessie, and you're driving, I imagine there's going to be zombies super sprinting after you just to increase that intensity. Similar to the super sprinters in transit, actually. I think that's probably the best comparison, which is perfectly fine. And believe me, they emphasized that old Tessie, that Wonder Vehicle, is a core experience to this new map. And in this creator call, when they were talking about these high rounds and super sprinters and the pacing of it all, they mentioned that they want this to be a much smoother progression. Instead of the progression kind of like right now, you know how in Black Ops 6, you probably go up to round 45, that's where super sprinters start, and then the health cap is at round 55. In terms of at least super sprinters and the pacing of it, they mentioned they're going to try to smoothen this out all the way to round 100. Now, I don't know if that means that health cap is round 100 now. They didn't actually mention anything about health cap or damage scaling or anything like that, but the progression of the difficulty of high rounds, and specifically super sprinters and that stuff, they said caps at 100. And important to note, they said even then, there at that cap, at that round 100 cap, there are even less super sprinters than there are in Black Ops 6. So the hardest of the hard super sprinters in Black Ops 7, at that round 100, it's going to be less than Black Ops 6. But now let's move on. There's a whole lot more to talk about, don't you worry. But outside of old Tessie, it looks like we're getting jump pads back with multiple destinations. Look at that. Once power has been restored to the local area you're navigating around, you can investigate several mysterious technical marvels across Ashes of the Damned known as jump pads. But obviously, rapid navigation jump pads allow players to navigate across the vast landscape of the map rather than brave the thoroughfares. Dude, I need a dictionary, man. I am not smart of this hellscape. For a nominal essence fee that's comparable to an inexpensive door buy, probably like 500 essence, you can interact with the jump pad console, which may have more than one destination available, and choose your landing spot. That is going to be huge with how big this map is. You're then instantaneously launched into the skies, traveling in a vast arc over the map and landing at a second landing pad in the chosen location. Jump pads are useful in a variety of situations, like assembling a team in a hurry, navigating without the need for old Tessie, or quickly returning to a previously explored locale to obtain a valuable item like a self-revive kit or PERK. Now let's talk about the traps. We have a Sawblade trap, bringing back Blood of the Dead. Survivalists, I love this. In a time to the dark ether, seem to have gathered a variety of junk equipment and fashioned it into a viciously effective chimera of a trap. A small plastic doll sat on 3 megaphones, below which is a chainsaw with circular saw blades embedded into it, attached to a vehicle engine and connected to a power switch. Flip that switch by expending essence, and a haunting beat complete with soft wailing sounds wafts through the ether. The eerie music attracts the zombies, the multi-bladed chainsaw brings the carnage, and any nearby undead foe gets minced into offal? I need more words. Oh, we're talking about it. Zombie modes and loadouts. Black Ops 7 Zombies expands with standard, directed, coming back, survival, and cursed, offering a story-driven quests, streamlined guidance, tighter endurance maps, and a high-risk relic hunt, plus Dead Ops Arcade 4 back for the first time in 5 years. Prepare for a match with a loadout catering to 30 weapons you can unlock and level up, along with new and returning equipment, field upgrades and gobblegums, weapon prestige, build codes, melee criticals add depth, letting squads personalize survival strategies from match start. Unless they're looking for something a little more old school in Cursed. Oh, I hope you're excited. Black Ops 7 launches with several modes alongside the highly anticipated Expect Zombies experiences designed for all manner of undead slayers, from the novice to the hardcore zombies veteran. Let's go standard, directed, survival. We all know what those are. Do you guys know what those are, right? Let's read survival here. Survival maps are coming to zombies for the first time since Black Ops 2, delivering a focused, unfiltered experience based on small parts of Ashes of the Damned at launch. There are no quests other than you and your squad surviving against the relentless undead for as long as you can be. I did ask Kevin Drew also about this. I asked, will all survival maps have everything on it? Like Pack-a-Punch, all of the perks, Wunderfizz, crafting table, arsenal station. He confirmed that yes, all of the survival maps that they release will have everything on it. They want to hyper-focus these survival maps on the core progression of this mode. I know that might be a little bit of a letdown for some people that wanted a survival map that, hey, this one doesn't have Pack-a-Punch. Hey, this one doesn't have the arsenal station. Hey, this one doesn't have the crafting table. And if we feel that way, please let me know in the comment section below, because believe me when I say they are listening to feedback. But now we've got to talk about Cursed. Take on a new experience featuring some legacy mechanics with numerous side quests to unearth increasingly potent and cursed relics. Activate these relics to face harder challenges in exchange for new levels of power, replayability, and rewards. I want you to forget everything you've heard over the past couple of days from any sort of leaks. This is not a classic mode. This is a mode with legacy mechanics. Tailor-made for the hardcore, crafted for those seeking a more demanding experience with new layers of challenge to discover and overcome for access to unique rewards. Y'all, I am going to make a dedicated video about this because this is so good. This is one of Black Ops 7's biggest innovations, directly inspired by feedback from the zombies community. You can't even enter Cursed until you've fulfilled a certain criteria. Once you've figured out how to access the mode itself, you'll start your Cursed match with some familiar friends. Only a trusty pistol in your hand with no loadout weapons available, no minimap, and a classic point system inspired by Black Ops 3. Treyarch, this is amazing. It's back. I am flabbergasted. Never would have thought that the classic point system would be back. From there, your focus is on finding archaic artifacts of great power hidden away across dark ether time and space. These are known as relics, each one themed around a totem from Black Ops Zombies history. Every relic has a unique condition to discover it, and the requirements needed can be unforgiving. These cursed relics aren't simply here to display in a trophy cabinet. They provide a debuff modifier, making your subsequent matches even more challenging. Each relic offers a unique challenge to overcome, and once unlocked and applied to a match, several of these modifiers can enable further restrictions that longtime fans will find familiar. A limit of 4 Perk-a-Colas, or the removal of ammo caches are just 2 examples. Those 2 examples are what we heard in the creator call as well. With relics becoming available in varying degrees of cursed power, your future cursed matches available as private matches, with the host's collection of relics available to pick from, are set to become even more hectic as you hunt down more dangerous artifacts. Each Black Ops 7 Zombies map will also have more relics to discover throughout the post-launch seasons. Now, why curse yourself by choosing relics to increase the challenge? Because doing so is the key to unlocking more powerful relics, as well as granting you access to classified benefits and rewards unique to the mode. Good luck, you will need it. And I gotta say, they did a phenomenal job describing this both in the creator call and right here. This is basically what we heard in that creator call. But what I want to add is that they really are turning into the discovery and the sort of old school style of zombies of mystery with this mode. Kevin Drew specifically said, "I'm not going to tell you how you discover these relics." This part of the briefing was relatively short. It was basically all this information, and I know we have a ton of questions. I've been thinking about this for literal days, and there are so many questions that I have. Is armor back? Is that a relic? Is there damage scaling? Is that a relic? Obviously, ammo caches are back, but we can limit our Perk-a-Colas. What does that do with augments? There's so many different answers that we want right now, and maybe we'll get them closer to launch. But between you and me, I am really excited to cover this mode entirely on launch and discover this for ourselves. That's how zombies used to be. We never got blog posts. We never got told anything about the zombie mode. We got a trailer, some hyping up, intro cutscenes, and here you go. Here's the mode. This mode seems to be harkening back to that. I didn't even know that you can't enter cursed until you've finished a certain criteria. Maybe it's the campaign again, a la Nocturne and Toten. Maybe it's beating the Easter egg, maybe it's getting to a certain round in the survival map. And like I said, I'm going to make a dedicated video about this. I know people are disappointed that this isn't a 1-for-1 classic mode, but this is what a ton of people were asking for. This is a blend between classic mechanics and new mechanics with Easter eggs and discovery, classic point system, starting with a pistol, 2 of the biggest things in my opinion about classic zombies. And the thing about modern zombies is that they are about to get even better when it comes to armor plating, and I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's go on down to survival mode. The first survival map coming at launch is a focused bite-sized experience set in the Vardon family farm that lies within the larger round-based zombies map. This is just a taste of the main event waiting for you in Ashes of the Damned, providing an opportunity to jump in and simply slay some zombies with no distractions. This is gonna be good. There's the farm, Pack-a-Punch, Wunderfizz machine, Gobblegum machine, mystery box right there. It's looking good. So now let's talk about some loadout stuff. We get a primary or secondary with attachments, a melee weapon, a field upgrade, tactical and lethal, which Treyarch, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We didn't have it in Cold War. We don't need it. We have the crafting table. The zombies drop stuff. We don't need to spawn in with a lethal and tactical. And then we've got a Gobblegum pack. And yes, the Gobblegum inventories from Black Ops 6 will be accessible in Black Ops 7. So all of your Gobblegums are carrying forward. But there are some changes. We have build codes. In addition to the return of zombies' preferred builds, weapons you construct in the Gunsmith now have an associated build code that you can both share with friends or import using a code you see someone using. Not only that, but I could put this build code in a weapons spreadsheet and share with you exactly my favorite builds, the best builds. We could do a series where you're like, donuts, use this build, and then I make a video doing an Easter egg with that sort of thing. 30 weapons to level up and unlock. There are 30 weapons to choose from. There will be multiple military, special, and mastery camos to unlock. Weapon prestige for all zombies weapons. Now, if you don't know, the ability to unlock a unique prestige attachment and more weapon camos with each weapon is within weapon prestige. So that's why you're going to want to prestige your weapon. Support weapons. These return in Black Ops 7, including an all-new Disciple injection. Let's go! As well as a selection of Black Ops 7 ordnance. Find these as dropped loot or build them at your crafting table. Dude, that is so good. Hopefully it's a little bit more balanced than the mutant injection, but this is something we've wanted. More different types of injections. Oh, that's so good. And now we have some melee adjustments. There's a beneficial change coming to melee weapons in Black Ops 7, allowing them to inflict critical and more damaging attacks, allowing for much more personality with every melee weapon you use. Look for a full explanation of this feature later in the blog. Okay, cool. Essence and Salvage are returning. Look at this map. It looks so beautiful. Essence, I think we know. Door buys, wall buys. Hold up now. Certain Gobblegums, gunsmith attachments, as well as Vulture 8 perk augments can influence the amount of essence dropped. Gunsmith attachments? Hold up now. Okay, Salvage. This is what I know here. Salvage takes the form of small pieces of scrap, usually found from fallen enemies. Salvage drops remain player specific and have the following general use. Access to ammo mods via the arsenal station, upgrade the rarity tier of your weapon. This is big. Certain gunsmith attachments as well as the Vulture 8 perk can influence the amount of salvage you dropped. Okay, I think we're going to talk about it here. Gobblegums can now be recycled to receive instant additional essence. The amount you receive is determined by the Gobblegum rarity. Does that mean that we can now give Gobblegums back to the machine? That's really good. Oh, that's big for the HUD, and that's big for just general gameplay of the Gobblegum. I stopped using Gobblegums basically when we spawned in with 3. It was just, it's so, I don't know, I don't like it. But anyway, the salvage bonus from certain silencer attachments that perform similarly to their Black Ops 6 counterparts have been lowered, so other muzzle attachments become a valid choice. Now, in the creator call when I heard this, I didn't really like this change because 1, the suppressors don't do all that much anyway, and number 2, there's really nothing else in that category other than lowering recoil that really is worth using. However, because they just said certain gunsmith attachments might affect the amount of essence that you earn, maybe that's where the competition's going to be. I don't know, that's just how I'm reading this. That's not exclusive information. That's just what it seems. Although this could just be a copy-pasted statement, we don't know. Amassing missed salvage. If you find salvage hard to come by, expect some help in this regard. Every 10 rounds, you're awarded around 50% of any salvage you previously missed, and which subsequently disappeared along with an on-screen message indicating this good fortune. Interesting. I wonder if you can cheese that in some way. Actually, no, that's actually always bad for you, but that's pretty cool. Oh, now we got to talk about power-ups. All the ones are here. Power-ups are available via specific Gobblegums that can be found in other more secretive ways. Insta-kill, double points, max ammo nuke, fire sale, bonus points, full power max ammo, and a random perk. But there are some changes. The max ammo power-up now fills your equipment as well as your ammunition. This is what people wanted, and now it's here. The fire sale power-up now also temporarily reduces the cost of traps and wall buys. The random perk power-up has been added to the randomly dropped power-ups available. A number of perks must be purchased by all teammates before the power-up can appear. I know for a lot of people, that's gonna seem a little too easy. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but a lot of people complaining they don't have a lot of points. So maybe now instead of buying all of your perks as soon as you can, maybe you wait for a random perk power-up, depending on how random they are, which, as you know, means that we're gonna need to do some complete retesting of how power-ups work in Black Ops 7. I've got the spreadsheet ready, believe me. But now, especially because multiple power-ups randomly dropping within a single round is now more frequent. In Black Ops 6, I believe this was capped to like 2, maybe 3. We're gonna see an increase with this. Hopefully it's completely random now, we will see. There's a new Gobblegum, Power Vacuum, which I called all the way back in Season 3, that increases the chances of power-up spawning after zombie kills. Any Gobblegum that summons power-ups like Killjoy on the house, whatever, now automatically activate the power-ups they summon, adjusting the tactics of when you employ them and removing the need to physically run into them. Thank you, Treyarch. Why your max ammo would spawn across the map when you popped it in, I don't know. I don't get it, but this is a W. And we're not even done. We're barely halfway. We're still going. Black Ops 7 arrives with 24 different types of enhancements divided into 3 familiar categories, 12 perks, 6 ammo mods, 1 new, 5 returning, 6 field upgrades, 1 new, 5 returning. What are the new ones, you ask? Well, we have Wisp Tea, a brand new perk, the great return of Fireworks from Black Ops 3, one of my favorites from Black Ops 3, coming back with augments involved, and Toxic Growth. Bring the boys home. Bring the troops home. We won. We did it. Toxic Growth is here. Now, I know some people might not like, Fireworks, Toxic Growth. They're old things returning here. But with the augment system, these things are given a breath of fresh air. I am so excited to break them all down when this game launches because it gets even better. Every one of these enhancements arrives with a set of augments to unlock and use. Some returning augments have received tuning changes and tweaks, so forget some of what you know and prepare to learn some new tricks. You guys are not ready for this. For each returning enhancement, Juggernog, for example, expect 6 augments from Black Ops 6 plus 2 brand new augments, 1 major, 1 minor. This is literally what I wanted. This is literally what I asked for. If we're gonna do augments again, just add more. And they did. Every single thing is getting 1 more major and 1 more augment, but it doesn't stop there. Black Ops 6 augment research continues with all of your completed augment unlocks. So whatever progress you have in Black Ops 6 with your augment research, it's gonna carry forward into Black Ops 7. But here's the mind-blowing thing that's just you guys are not ready for. Research all 8 augments in your research diagram, and you can then unlock the extra slot minor augment, which enables you to equip a second minor augment in game. Therefore, once you fully research a specific perk, ammo mod, or field upgrade in Black Ops 7, you have a total of 8 augments with 3, 1 major, 2 minor being active during a match. I don't think you're ready for how game-changing this is. I've looked at the Black Ops 6 augments. By far, the strongest augment combination I thought of right away, Juggernog. You have probiotic, but now we have hardened plates. Hardened plates reduces damage mitigation so you can survive more hits. But a lot of people want their armor to survive a lot more. Now, with 2 minor augments, you could have hardened plates as well as durable plates, meaning your armor doesn't take as much damage and you don't take as much damage. Double tap, you can now have an increased rate of fire and double or nothing, or the other one that gets you ammo back. Deadshot, you could have reduced hip fire spread and the one that reduces or increases damage to armor. We're going to be able to put on Deadwire with extension and the one that deals extra damage. We're going to be able to have Ether Shroud with 2 charges and extension at the same time. The amount of augment combinations this is going to open up for us is going to be fantastic. If you loved my augment reviews, you better be ready. Now, shifting gears here, this is a little bit different. You may have noticed 2 Black Ops 6 ammo mods and 3 field upgrades. So Lightman, Shatterblast, Tesla Storm, Frostblast, Mr. Peaks aren't listed as returning. These are all the DLC field upgrades and stuff. Expect them all to appear, each with 2 new augments and additional minor augment slot to unlock, to bolster your offensive capabilities still further during Season 1. Okay, that I was getting very nervous there. I wonder if those being DLC augments, the build that they were using for Black Ops 7 didn't include them, so they have to retest and re-evaluate all of these things, because that's very strange. But I'm glad that they're not re-releasing them over the course of the year, and they will all be here in Season 1. So that's good. Little concerning. We're going to put a pin in that and keep that in mind during this year, but very good that they're just going to be here. And now there's more general changes to augments. We've prepared an entire separate augment research blog to detail all the returning, adjusted, and new augments across all the stuff. Oh, we're going to learn more about them. Okay, but before we get to that, because believe me, there's one in here that all of y'all are going to love. There's one in there that will change how you play Black Ops 7 Zombies forever. And these new icons look sick. But now we've got to talk more about the general info. Round preservation. Anytime an augment enables an enemy to be charmed, like Brain Rot, the charmed zombies now avoid killing the last zombie in the round. I never thought they would do this. Like, this just seems like such a small issue, but it's happened so many times and I've complained about it so much because, like I said, whenever there's 2 zombies left and I'm running Elemental Pop, that stinking Brain Rot zombie is always there. I might actually run Brain Rot now. Bigger game. All big game augments for ammo mods will receive a buff to damage or frequency that they appear. For example, Brain Rot and Napalm Burst ammo mods will now charm or burn elite enemies more frequently. I'm speechless. Oh, that is such a good change. Those augments, I'm telling you guys, testing those augments, they were useless. It would take me entire magazines of ammo on a weak gun to trigger big game. Oh, we're retesting everything. Damage types with area of effectiveness, damage types without a hit location, Deadwire's Lightning Strike augment, for example, are no longer automatically considered critical hits or headshots. Note this also applies to any equipment and some traps. So I think that just means that like things that aren't headshots don't count for headshots accidentally anymore, which is a good balancing thing. I think that's good. Augments that operate on a per shot influence regarding ammunition or weapons that have multiple pellets or an area of effect damage now have a very small cooldown so as to not make them overwhelmingly effective for those weapon types. Oh no! Augment examples include Dead Again, the Deadshot perk, Critical Eye. Dang, that's actually a big nerf. Again, we will test them out to see exactly what's changed. Luckily, I do have the numbers that I tested for those things. So we'll see. We'll see how that, if that changes those things at all. The Dead Again perk, the Critical Eye, those weren't really big perks, but it's good to balance, right? Health Overcharge. A new feature in Black Ops 7 Zombies is an Overheal, a modifying buff that allows players to temporarily increase their maximum health using certain augments or equipment. Cool, we've seen that before. I think that's a healing aura, and I think maybe a jug augment or something like that. Perks are back, let's go. 12 perks coming back. We've got the brand new Wisp Tea. Drink to summon a companion wisp after killing zombies. Bloodwolf Bite, it's good to see you back. Once summoned, the wisp begins to slay nearby zombies for around 30 seconds. 2 minutes later, it can be summoned again. The wisp is summoned after defeating a number of zombies. I think this is a typo. The number isn't important rather than the speed of slaying, though obviously the wisp will appear more quickly if the enemies are killed with haste. Oh, I can't wait to test that out. The wisp targets all zombie types indiscriminately. The wisp also realizes the importance of turning around and will refrain from killing the last zombie. This is great. Look at all of these things. Look at all these augments. Let's break them down real quick. Oh, this perk can look so good. The Mask of Wrath, the demon does more damage. Mask of Salvation, the fox can revive you while it's active. This can be done up to 3 times per match. That's big. The Mask of Distraction, the monkey attracts enemies and does damage in your area. The Mask of Benevolence, the maiden does not attack but will periodically heal you. Minor augments, we have increased the wisp's lifetime. Haste, decrease the cooldown before wisps can be summoned. Zombie Sitter, the wisp will attract and avoid damaging the last zombie in the round until the round times out. Fetcher, the wisp will pick up items and power-ups from you aside from the nuke. Oh man, this is so good. This is, oh. And you know what? I'm gonna say this now, Treyarch, you've been listening. All year you've been listening. There's so many things you're listening to. I'm just going to say you brought back Toxic Growth. I love you for it. Bloodwolf Bite, this is your new take on it. If we're thinking about perks that we haven't seen in this new style of zombies yet, I'm just going to put it out there. Stone Cold Stronghold would be perfect. Stone Cold Stronghold would be amazing. Especially with all the augments, I'm telling you, it would be awesome. Now we have some Wunderfizz updates. The base purchase price of perks, wow, that's a tongue twister, is based on previously purchased perks and increases to the price now don't include ones you may have obtained for free, including using power-ups, Gobblegums, or Easter eggs, for example. So that means the first perk that you buy is 2,500 points. But say you got a free perk from the SAM trials or a free random perk somewhere, that would then naturally increase the cost of a perk to 3,000, even though you didn't technically purchase that perk. That is being changed. Now, even if you get like 3 free perks from SAM trials or random drops, the first perk that you purchase, even if it's your 4th perk total, it will still only cost 2,500 points, and that price will only go up 500 points whenever you buy a perk. Small quality of life change, but I think people are going to like it. And also, in Black Ops 6, the Wunderfizz machine becomes available at round 25. In Black Ops 7, the arrival of a Wunderfizz machine is dependent on you and your teammates. It now also arrives after a certain number of perks that have been bought, including repurchases by all players. Now, I tried conversing with my fellow zombie YouTubers who went to this creator call. The way they phrase this, the way I have it in my notes, is that the Wunderfizz spawns in with 3 + 1 player. So I don't know if they mean 3 perks per player, as in like, so if you're playing solo, that's 1 player plus 3 perks, so that would be 4 perks total. And if you're playing 4-player plus 3 perks, that would be 7 perks total. I'm not gonna lie, I could have done a much better with this creator call. It was my first one. I sincerely apologize. Again, I'll make a separate video about it. You guys are gonna love it. Either way, purchasing perks is going to make the Wunderfizz machine spawn in faster, which is gonna make Easter egg runs so much better if you ask me. Ammo mod, intel, and fireworks. We kind of know how ammo mods work. You can apply a single ammo mod to any weapon you're carrying. You can have any ammo mod active on any of your loadout weapons, but each weapon requires a separate ammo mod purchase, of course. They give the affected weapon a % chance to inflict a special effect if an attack lands on the enemy. Ammo mod also usually has an elemental damage effect, which can inflict extra damage on enemies that are weak to a particular element. After an ammo mod activates, it enters a cooldown state before the chance at activation begins again. This is great clarification, something that we've always suspected and they might have stated before, but each bullet that hits a normal or special enemy has a chance to launch an ammo mod. In this case, we're talking about fireworks. Back from Black Ops 3, last scene of Black Ops 3, this ammo mod is as brightly colored as it is deadly, filling the air above and illuminating the nearby combat zone in a fiery light show. As the initial explosive light show has occurred, damaging zombies caught in the vicinity, stars are launched into the skies before exploding. This subsequent explosion launches a set of individual flares from the stars that fly out and hone in on additional random threats in the general vicinity. That sounds so OP. The chance of fireworks activating depends on the enemy type, and once the light show is over, expect a small cooldown window before it is available again. Let's read these augments. Big game, of course, activating on elite enemies, creating a bigger light show. Starburst, fireworks explode immediately, sending flares through enemies in all directions. Weeping Willow, instead of targeting enemies, the flares will land on the ground and explode for a while, creating an area of effect, it sounds like. Fire Wheel, create 2 fire wheels that spin around and damage enemies. This sounds so cool. Minor augments, we have Fireworks launches more flares. Big Bang, fireworks flares deal more damage to special and elite enemies. Okay, pretty cool. High Yield, increase the area of effect. Short Fuse, fireworks cooldown is reduced. Again, sounds so cool. Oh, Toxic Growth is back. Expect 6 field upgrades that are still swappable during match via the pause menu, and continue to scale in damage as the rounds continue, with the following changes. Field upgrades have a lower charge cost earlier in the matches. The number of foes you need to defeat before the field upgrade is fully charged that can be activated. That's interesting. I don't think I remember that from the creator call, but they have a lower charge cost earlier in the matches. That's actually something I'm not quite fond of. I like how long they took in Black Ops 6. Again, we'll test everything out again and we'll see what's changed. Expect to slay a small additional number of enemies before activation as the rounds progress. Each additional use will have slightly increased the cost to fully charge. Oh my goodness, this is gonna make testing so terrible. I'm so excited. This is the Black Ops 4 Specialist system. This is literally the Black Ops 4 Specialist system. That's exactly how the specialists work in Black Ops 4. It started off really easy to charge, but as you kept using it, it would get harder and harder and longer to charge. That is actually a phenomenal balancing factor, which makes me think that maybe we might be seeing some stronger field upgrades in the future. Maybe some Ring of Fire. I don't know. I don't want Ring of Fire back, but that makes me think that might be the direction they're going. But let's talk about Toxic Growth. Oh, I'm so glad it's back. If you didn't play Cold War, you missed out on this amazing field upgrade. Hold down and block pathways and or incoming enemies with the latest mutant plant life. Add a powerful improvement to your capabilities that inflicts toxic damage. This bush of vines grows rapidly on the ground with a specific width, height, and depth. To learn the dimensions to aid in tactical placement, that sounds weird. Enemies that move through Toxic Growth are slowed as they are poisoned and torn apart, as the toxic growth weakens before finally disintegrating after time or after inflicting a set amount of damage. Toxic growths don't harm you or your teammates no more than 3 toxic growths can be active at once. Oh boy. Major augments, we have toxic growth takes up a wider area and enemies that enter the growth continue to be slowed after leaving it. The first normal or special enemy to walk into the toxic growth is entangled and charmed, attacking other zombies that enter. Enemies killed by toxic growth explode, dealing toxic damage to nearby enemies and slowing them down. The first normal or special enemy to walk into the growth becomes the toxic growth itself. This all sounds so fun. Minor augments. Enemies moving through the growth are even slower, significantly increase the toxic growth health, increase the max charges by 1. Killing enemies with toxic growth has a chance to drop healing fruit. Healing Fruit. I wonder if that will overcharge you like they just mentioned previously. Oh, and we got to talk about Gobblegums now. All Gobblegums obtained through Black Ops 6 will carry forward, and they all work just like Black Ops 6. You have up to 5 packs with 5 Gobblegums each. You can change them within the pause menu. There's different rarities. They have the different patterns with the different effects. Gobblegums have been incorporated into Dead Ops Arcade 4, though there are purist Dead Ops Arcade 4 modes where Gobblegums are disabled. That is interesting. Black Ops 7 Gobblegum Changes. You can now recycle any Gobblegum and convert them into essence. See below. When multiple players are accessing a Gobblegum machine, expect a small cooldown every time you obtain a Gobblegum to allow other players' teammates a chance to interact with the machine. Power-up summoning, we heard that's instant now. Exit strategy now automatically exfils the player who used the Gobblegum, counting as a successful exfil. This is partly due to the new exfil feature in Black Ops 7. Oh, I'm so excited. There are 47 different types of Gobblegums, 41 returning, Aftertaste, Killjoy, Cashback, Temporal, Stock, Anywhere, Power Cake, Tactic, Accelerator, Feels Okay, Re-Equipment, Power Vacuum, as purple, Legendary, we've got Round Off, Armageddon, and then all of these other ones returning. For Ultras, we have Gift Card, I wonder what that could be. And then Whimsical, we've got some other stuff here too. Okay, let's take a look at the new Gobblegum, starting with Aftertaste. Keep all your perks after being revived, activates on a revive. This is gonna be huge, and I wonder if this works for solo. Re-Equipment lasts for 5 minutes. Your equipment slots refill over time. That's big. That's really good. That's basically Grenade Bandolier in a Gobblegum form. Power Vacuum lasts 5 minutes. Kills have a higher chance to spawn power-ups. That's going to be OP. Legendary Round Off activates on round transition. Rounds prevented from advancing for 2 rounds. Wow, so that pauses the round timer. That could be really good for Easter eggs and camo grinding. Armageddon, receive 3-plate armor vest with full plates instant. And Ultra, gain 30,000 essence. Cannot be combined with other bonuses. So this is essentially what I'm guessing this is essentially the shopping free type of Gobblegum here. Instead of giving you a certain amount of time, instead of giving you a certain amount of purchases, they say, hey, here's 30,000 essence, go crazy. That is enough to do a whole lot of stuff. That's actually pretty cool. Ultra though, I don't know if that's worth it over Perkaholic, but in terms of Pack-a-Punch, that could be really good. And buying the doors, that's a good one. That's a good balance. I like that. I know people might not be happy, but that's a pretty decent middle ground. Recycling your Gobblegums for fun and profit. In Black Ops 7, 1 or more of your chosen Gobblegums can be crushed during a match while they're in your inventory and converted into essence on the fly. The Gobblegum is removed just as if it had been consumed and essence added to your inventory. Instead of using the Gobblegum in a normal way, you have a second option to crush it in your hand. Once you select it in your HUD, once converted, essence is automatically awarded. The amount of essence you receive is dependent on the rarity of the Gobblegum, with Whimsicals being the lowest and Ultras being the highest. Double points power up stacks with this essence reward, awarding you double the normal amount of essence. The epic rarity profit sharing Gobblegum also stacks with this essence reward, awarding it to nearby players as well as yourself. This feature may be disabled for specific zombies game modes. I don't know how to feel about this. On one hand, I like that we could just get rid of Gobblegums. On the other hand, this is kind of a solution to a problem that you've created by forcing us to have Gobblegums all the time. I would much rather go to the Gobblegum machine and then press a different button to like give my Gobblegum back, I guess. The main thing, this would work so well if the Gobblegum wasn't removed from your inventory, but then you could just keep buying Gobblegum and then crushing it to get points, so we'll play around with it. We'll see. I don't think I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the idea. I don't think I like the execution here, though. Rampage Inducer. Zombies spawn faster, move faster, more aggressive, reduces the delay between rounds. All players must agree to activate it. It can also be turned off. Ooh, in Black Ops 7, Rampage Inducers won't spawn the fastest moving zombies, super sprinters, until round 20. I don't think that's necessary. I think some people are not gonna like that, but I think I'm gonna like that. Wall buys, armor, weapons, and ammo. Here I have some exclusive information, I think. Use Essence to purchase a new weapon from glowing outlines on the wall. The glow of the outline indicated on the rarity, which upgrades to a more valuable rarity on the wall buy as the match progresses. Or you have armor, glowing plate outlines. But here's the new stuff. Weapon wall buys now allow you to purchase ammo at a discounted price for the weapon indicated on the wall buy, once that initial wall buy weapon is bought. This is just like classic zombies, where you buy a gun off the wall and you can return to it for ammo. That price is going to be discounted versus the new ammo crate here. And this, beautiful people, this is where I think we can really do a good job balancing ammo. I think you guys are going to be excited for this. Armor wall buys have been combined, allowing you to purchase level 2 armor, then level 3 armor from the same armor wall buy. Armor wall buys continue to offer you a full repair of your armor if you have the essence, once you purchase the armor level upgrade, of course. Now, again, exclusive information here. This phrasing makes it seem like you could purchase tier 2 armor and then that armor wall buy automatically upgrades to tier 3, which is kind of how I took this information too. So I think that that's probably the way it goes. However, again, from conversing from some of my other zombies YouTubers in this creator call, a couple of them thought that the armor wall buy might now act like the weapon wall buys, as in you buy tier 2 armor and then you have to wait for it to upgrade at a round change in order to get tier 3. If that's the case, I think that could be really cool and a really good way of fine-tuning the difficulty for all players across the game. Because essentially what you're doing is you're saying, hey, you can't buy tier 3 armor until round 25 or round 30 if you can hard code that armor rarity being upgraded at that specific round. But again, that might have just been a miscommunication and that might be misinformation. This makes it seem like you buy tier 2 and then it automatically upgrades to tier 3. We will see, but something to keep in mind. And again, I wish with it, especially with this, we should not start with armor. I think we should start with no armor and then this wall buy be a level 1 for like 1,000 points and then level 2 for 5,000 and then level 3 for 10,000. Something like that. I think we could do it. Ammo caches, the brand new zombified ammo cache. Ammo caches return to Black Ops 7 with a new look and audio and provide a refill of the weapon you're currently holding. Ammo cache prices are specific to each weapon and increase each time the weapons are pack-a-punched. In addition to ammo caches, wall buys, seen above, are now another way to obtain ammunition. Now, I like this idea because it means that this ammo cache might be able to get really expensive to incentivize you to use a wall weapon so that you can have a discounted price of that wall weapon, increasing that weapon variety potentially. I think there's potential there. And look at that Origins mystery box in the Dark Ether. It's back. Look at that beautiful thing. And they did make some changes to the mystery box. So we know how the mystery box works. We know it increases in rarity as the rounds progress. You have a chance to obtain uncommon rare and all that stuff. Weapon rarity continues to improve as the rounds progress, meaning fewer time spent looking at common rarity armaments in later rounds before respinning. The mystery box now has a chance to provide an ether tool to instantly upgrade your weapon's rarity. Support items, score streaks, no longer appear in the mystery box, and melee weapons no longer appear in the mystery box. I am so happy about the melee weapons. I'm not so happy about the kill streaks. But to be honest, I'm not exactly against it either. The chance to obtain wonder weapons now gradually increases a bit more than previously as rounds progress, but are still a rare phenomenon. You know what this means. I'm gonna need to spin the mystery box another 1,000 times to see exactly how it works. Now, during this creator call, there were no, I can't quote, so don't quote me on this, but the sentiment that was given was that they want players to interact with the mystery box and they recognize that that hasn't been happening. And so they've done an assortment of minor changes to kind of encourage players to use different weapons other than loadout weapons. For example, reducing the salvage you get on the suppressor, so that way salvage is a little bit more scarce. Having wall buys be able to give you ammo back at a discounted price, so you're more inclined to use wall buys. And now with the mystery box, if it wasn't completely clear, reducing the amount of lower rarities. They're increasing how quickly those lower rarities will phase out. Meaning that in the, I don't know, again, I'll need to test it, maybe in the 20s, you might start seeing more epic and legendary guns. And then wonder weapons in the higher rounds seem to be more active or more common, I guess. Again, we'll need to see specifics, but especially, I love this. They didn't tell us about this. The chance to provide an ether tool to instantly upgrade your weapon's rarity is big. That is so good. And feedback that I'll put in a different video. I don't know if this is going to fix the box, but I love the mentality, and this shows that they are listening to us and they want us to use this, especially with how sick this looks. Crafting tables and equipment. I think we know how the crafting table works. It's a long video. Tacticals, we've got stuns, stim shots, psych grenades, hunter bot, those are new. Smoke, let's go, smokes! Sight grenades, yes, explodes on impact with the ground, releasing a lingering red cloud of hallucinogenic gas, which seems to charm zombies? Dude, that's so cool. Hunterbot, this seems to hone in towards nearby special and elite enemies before exploding on impact. Oh, we're testing those out, dude. If you liked my Black Ops 6 content, you guys are gonna love my Black Ops 7 content. Lethal grenades. Frag, sticky grenade, C4, Molotov, combat axe, cluster grenades, and point turret. Point turret, let's go. Cluster grenades scatter small explosives, allowing for nearby secondary impacts. Okay. Small deployable sentry turret that sticks to surfaces and automatically shoots enemies, distracting and damaging them. I wonder if that gets us points too. That could be really cool. Oh, look at this. The disciple injection. Oh, bummer. If you're after some major protection or a much longer powerful hand weapon or bombardment style single-use weapon designed to clear hordes and stop you from becoming overwhelmed, consider the support items or score streaks at the crafting table. Note that the overclocks for support score streaks are only available in multiplayer, and a complete list of support equipment and score streaks will be revealed closer to launch, with one important exception. Look at that disciple! After injecting yourself with an unstable serum, your crew's member's withering body quickly transforms into a ferocious floating killing machine. With this devastating new power, you're able to cause some serious havoc, including grab and hurl, raise a zombie at range into the air and hurl them at foes, inflicting a powerful dark ether damage. Focus your feeding powers to slow down and drain enemy from any normal, special, or elite zombie. Release a sonic blast that stuns those caught in this audio emanation. This looks so good. I am heartbroken over Cloxen art here. Heartbroken, Treyarch. I'm heartbroken. But I also understand there are so many mechanics that you already need to get working in zombies. That doesn't mean I'm not going to ask for it, though. We'll see. We'll get some gameplay. But that, I'm really excited. I'm really interested to see if the mutant injection returns, if they balanced it in any sort of way. I think they did a good job balancing it in Reckoning, so I think you can make the mutant injection work. The Arsenal Station. And before we get to here, I want you to remember, they are emphasizing other weapons other than your loadout weapon, and the Arsenal Station is going to be a big way of doing that. We get ammo mods. Only one ammo mod can be purchased at a time, and you can upgrade your weapon's rarity here. Salvage costs for rarity upgrades have been adjusted from their Black Ops 6 values to further incentivize mystery box and wall buy use. Upgrade the rarity tier of your weapon as follows. Uncommon green is now 1,000 salvage, twice as much as it was before, meaning that your loadout weapon is going to be even weaker before you pack a punch it, and you're going to need to use it even longer. Rare blue, now 1,500 salvage. Now this is big. Blue and green used to cost 1,500 salvage. Now blue and green cost 2,500 salvage. I know it doesn't look that much, especially because this purple rarity, epic rarity, is only 2,000 salvage now instead of 2,500. You think, oh my goodness, that's less, but let's do some math. In Black Ops 6, you have 500 for green, 1,000 for blue, and 2,500 for purple. That is a cost of 4,000 salvage total from the start of your game to epic rarity. But if we add all of this up, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, it's 4,500 salvage. So basically, purple's actually 500 more salvage than it cost before. Is that enough to really incentivize other guns? I'm doubtful, especially because it's like one SAM trial's worth of salvage. But the fact that they're changing this means that they might be able to adjust this in the future. So I'm gonna get going on my stats and graphs because this is fascinating. And then legendary is the same, but as we said, it's gonna be technically 5,000 more salvage for legendary because we added salvage at the beginning of this upgrade process. The rarity of your weapon can also occasionally upgraded via rare ground loot or reward loot called ether tools. Obviously, we know that. Now, they said, this is from the creator call, they liked the progression, or the pacing, I should say, of how you upgraded your weapons in Cold War. And now, I might be crazy here, but I remember Cold War's progression taking so much longer to get to legendary triple pack-a-punch than in Black Ops 6. So believe me, I am making a comparison video of how long it takes us to upgrade our weapons in Cold War, Black Ops 6, and Black Ops 7 when it releases. Again, stats graphs coming. This is really interesting. Returning damage modifiers, elemental weakness, frost, fire, electric, toxic, like shadow. The pack-a-punch machine, it's obviously the wonder vehicle here, and look at that beautiful pack-a-punch camo. If that comes in green, blue, or purple, I am sold. In Ashes of the Damned, there's one important difference to the Pack-a-Punch machine. It is mobile. Being clamped to the exhaust as an upgrade to old Tessie, Pack-a-Punch machines return to more expected stationary positions during survival mode matches, of course. You can disable Pack-a-Punch camos if you want, or by bashing the machine before obtaining a Pack-a-Punch camo. There are more investigations needed to fully understand the secrets of the Pack-a-Punch machine in Black Ops 7. And here we have the return of Sam Trials as T.E.D. tasks. I freaking love this so much. You have no idea. This is it. This is Sam Trials. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Periodically phasing in and out of the dark ether is a strange interface console with an oversized T.E.D. head attached to it. Access it, then complete a specific time task that T.E.D. has assigned for you. The rewards you receive increase in rarity depending on how well you've done the task. Expect rewards to include equipment, tools, and random perks. Oh, this is big though. Perk rewards are usually related to those a player doesn't already have. And this is what I'm talking about. The tiny details that we're saying in Black Ops 6, they're listening, guys. They are listening. Zombie HUD presets and customizations. I didn't know if we would get this today. Black Ops 7 allows you to customize your HUD in a new and familiar ways and is easily accessed via Zombie's HUD presets menu with additional tweaks available in the settings menu. This includes the removal of the minimap, compass, prompts, zombie health bars, and damage numbers. Prompts! Does that mean what I think it means? Pack-a-Punch camo can be switched on and off, and you can even choose to remove HUD elements or all of it entirely. Great. There are 2 additional ways to adjust your HUD experience via zombie themes and layouts. You can select a variety of HUD layouts just like in Black Ops 6, and though individual HUD elements can be moved, the layout variety includes magnified elements for accessibility or those seeking a cleaner look to the brand new Zombies experience. You can apply a custom color to your HUD that has 2 settings, a set of 45 basic colors or a custom color menu with hue, saturation, brightness sliders. This menu is so granular, it includes a place to input a 6-character hex code for incredibly precise color. There are several planned themes to choose from, with some elements familiar to those with long appreciation of Call of Duty Zombies. What? Okay, Treyarch, you can't just skip past that. You gotta show us. You gotta show us a picture of that. Oh my goodness. I'm worried they didn't show us anything, but that, again, literally what we asked for. Literally everything we asked for right there. If they pull it off, because Treyarch, I've said this in a tweet, I would rather have custom HUD presets and customization of the HUD, even if it's buggy and glitchy, but dang it, every day, for the past couple of months, my HUD has been resetting in Black Ops 6. I hope it's not as buggy and glitchy as it was in Black Ops 6. So hopefully they fixed it. This is a huge step in the right direction. I love this. People are going to love this. And the new phone booth EXFIL. With Raptor Run's fate currently unknown, you won't be relying on helicopter airlift to exfil and your team out. Fortunately, an archaic German Telefonzen booth repurposed as a cosmic gateway portal can be called upon both literally and figuratively. This is fantastic. This is like so sci-fi inspired. Doctor Who, of course. These booths activate periodically through the match. The phone rings. If you answer it, a portal is conjured where players requested the exfil. That's so zombified. That's so zombified. However, this also brings a fearsome HVT entity and its minions. The HVT and its underling must be slain before the time expires. The portal becomes fully accessible, fail, and you die horribly, of course. During the flight, all the other phone booths throughout the map start to activate their own portals, step through these portals, and they link to the phone booth with the HVT. This allows other teammates elsewhere on the map to quickly teleport to you to lend a hand. So it's like a fast travel system to the actual exfil area. This is so zombie. This is so zombie. This is so much better than a generic military phone and unfortunately a helicopter, dude. A portal with this thing teleporting you there? In Black Ops 7, it's important to decide whether to participate in the exfil or not. If all teammates accept, you should all focus on slaying the HVT within the time limit and escaping via the phone booth. If all teammates accept and you fail to slay the HVT, you are overwhelmed by zombies and exfil. New to Black Ops 7, if some teammates decline the exfil, they can choose to help or ignore their fellow players engaged in HVT combat. Whether the HVT is slain or not, players declining to exfil can continue the match afterwards without penalty. Players who voted to accept the exfil will end their match, whether they defeated the HVT or die trying. I mean, what more could you ask for? What more could you ask for? There's more. There's more. Melee weapon adjustments. This is, we heard this in the creator call. Critical hits. If you're able to aim at a target, strike them at the head and cause critical attacks, which in turn grant you more damage and Essence. This is going to be great for those melee builds. I wonder if it's more Essence or just the same amount of Essence as normal critical hits. You have more control over the swing and arc of the weapon from the start to impact, and more importantly, the timing of the attack to ensure a critical hit is achieved. Melee heavy attacks. The heavy attack you can use at any melee weapon is now adjusted to be a bit slower, but able to deal more damage. Personally, these are all great. I think the melee enjoyers will love this. My main problem with melee is the armor system. Because I'm always so close to zombies, they're hitting me, I'm gonna take damage, and armor is a permanent change, and it just, I don't think it's ever gonna feel great, but I'm really excited to see how it feels with this, especially with some augments that we might not get to later, but I will tell you about, but we'll see. Health overcharge. The most you can raise your health by combined augment effects like Juggernaut's probiotic augment and the stim shot equipment, for example, is plus 100 health above your current health maximum. Employ specific tactics and you can increase your health still further. This bonus to your health is temporary, meaning unlike your regular health, it does not regenerate over time. The bonus is lost once your current health drops below the normal maximum, but it can be temporarily reacquired. I'm very excited. I bet you that has a lot more to do with augments, auto revives, and area criticals. Yes, when a round is complete, expect any player in a prone position to be auto revived. That's a weird way to say it. If you're down during a round transition, it'll auto revive you. And this is just reassessing that like certain equipment and traps and like Deadwire Lightning Strike are not going to count as headshots anymore, which is fine. New intel inspection. With audio logs, artifacts, and documentation strewn across Dark Ether Universe of Terror, gathering all evidence in one place for further investigation is a must. In the Zombies Intel menu, each piece of intel can now be studied and inspected, including zooming in and out of rotating. Thank you so much. Can you please put this in Black Ops 6? This would be great for thumbnails. This would be great for just looking at it. Oh, it'd be great. Save, load, and rejoin. Save, load, scoreboard, and rejoining features all return to Black Ops 7 Zombies. Let's go. Solo pausing and the other innovations brought to Black Ops 6 Zombies. Innovations. Solo pausing is not an innovation, bro. Let's calm down here. Continue Black Ops 7. That makes me sad that I bet you the solo pause timer will still be 15 minutes. Dang it. Because you know they would advertise it if it was any longer. Firing range is back, the armory returns, all good stuff. Dang, that sucks for solo pausing. I know a lot of people didn't like that. Was hoping that they would change that around. Moving on to progression and challenges, your Easter egg skins that we got in Black Ops 6 will carry forward, don't you worry. All double XP tokens, Gobblegums, Augments, and Augment Research will carry forward. And here is Dead Ops Arcade 4. I've been talking for so long, I am going to skip through this, but maybe I'll make a dedicated video about this too. We've got like ammo mods, fuel upgrades, and Gobblegums in this. Dude, that's crazy. We've got casual, standard, hardcore post-launch, and standard advanced start post-launch. I hope they have a first-person mode. I've heard that's really good, although they could have said that earlier. Like I said, I'm just kind of scrolling through here. But now we need to talk about the beta. The Black Ops 7 beta, divided into the early access and open beta periods, runs from October 2nd to October 8th. Good news for Zombies fans, you could play Zombie Survival as part of the beta next weekend. This is the first time, I think, ever we've gotten zombies in a beta, so these dates are now really important to us. The early access beta launches 10 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday, October 2nd, for those who pre-order the game and run for a period of 72 hours. The open beta launches at 10 a.m. on Sunday, October 5th for all players on all platforms and runs consecutively after the early access period for another 72 hours. The Black Ops 7 beta is scheduled to conclude at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, October 8th. Now I'm going to try to get this right because now it's really important to us. Early access available to players who have pre-ordered the game on any platform, console or PC, as well as eligible Game Pass subscribers. The initial part of the beta is planned to launch Thursday at that time, of course. The second part of the beta is open and free for all players on all platforms. Internet access is required for participation. And I know the blog post is over, but Donuts isn't over. Donuts got some exclusive content for you here. And I think we're gonna find them right here. Additional augments. Now we've gone over Wisp Tea already, but now let's talk about the returning augments, including some adjustments. Starting with Jug, we've got Probiotic, increase maximum health with Juggernaut from 250 to 300. Turtle Shell, let's go. Armor acts as a shield on your back, completely absorbing damage to your rear. Adjustment, armor completely absorbs damage to your back, while also now allowing normal damage mitigation to your front. I'm never running anything else other than Turtle Shell. I'm in shock. I never thought they would do this. Turtle Shell's gonna be OP. Turtle Shell's gonna be the new meta. Calm down, calm down. Reactive armor. Armor plate breaks, normal enemies stunned. Okay, Iron Core, your health is increased when all of your armor plates are broken. Crap, that's really good, because in the situations where all of your armor breaks, especially with the damage scaling, if you're going for that high round and you have increased in health, that means you might be able to get more hits on those higher rounds. Oh dude, the augment testing is going to be wild for this. That's so good. Minor augments deal bonus damage when your health is low. Armor plates have more damage mitigation. The damage mitigation has been reduced slightly, probably because you can now pair it with other things. Okay, which means again, we need to test this out a whole heck of a lot. Increase armor durability and shake it off. Incoming damage will occasionally be significantly reduced. That is interesting, and that's going to be really hard to test. But again, that sounds really good for Jug. PhD Flopper, there's going to be some adjustments to this, I'm positive. Dr. Ram, here it is. For short bursts, sprinting into normal enemies damages and knocks them down. This also works while tactical sprinting, but there is no tactical, well, we'll see. Sliding into enemies triggers explosions. Adjustments. Effectiveness when sideswiping has been reduced. This augment triggers when impact occurs during the direction of travel. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe if you're sliding to the side, then it's not going to be as effective, perhaps? Double whammy. Release a second explosion shortly after the first one. Ooh, that'll be fun. Environmentalist, become immune to environmental damage. EOD, reduce the height and distance. Of course, Tribologist, sliding distance and speed are increased. Both the sliding speed increase and general speed bonus have been lessened slightly. Honestly, I know people are not going to like it. I kind of like it because Tribologist is kind of a crutch augment right now. This might encourage some of these other minor augments, including Stuntman. Wall jumping creates an explosion. Very fun. Great new way of doing that. Okay, let's see. Citrus Focus, Imperial Peach looks normal. Electric Cherry, new Rainbow Pop. Weapons with an ammo mod equipped have a chance to deal the elemental damage that an enemy is weak to. Okay. I think I understand this. This is actually really good. So if I'm running Deadwire, right? Because we love Deadwire, but then I'm shooting a Mangler. Manglers are weak to fire damage. So obviously with Deadwire, I'm not going to deal elemental damage. But with Rainbow Pop, there's a chance that I could deal elemental damage even though I don't have the corresponding ammo mod. How useful that is, we'll have to see. Again, excited to test it out. Vulnerabine, increased enemy elemental weakness damage. This has been lessened by a modest amount. Oh, I hope so. I loved Vulnerabine. Shillberry says reduce all ammo mod cooldown still. Refresh Mint is a new one. Killing a special or elite enemy with its elemental weakness resets your elemental pop cooldown. That's kind of nice. Melee Macchiato. They've made some adjustments here that I think we're gonna like. The damage of each punch continues to increase until round 30. The punch itself is faster. Expect different damage multipliers depending on the melee weapon you use. Let's freaking go. All melee attacks are faster. Espresso's the same. Vampiric's the same. Triple Shot is the same. Oh, I wish they adjusted it. Hopefully they adjusted that hitbox. Trick, this Triple Shot, to me, every time I try to run it, I think it's useless. I feel like it's really, really useless. But now, you guys are going to love this. Mocha Maul, the punch is replaced with your dedicated melee weapon. This is going to be fantastic for camo grinding, amazing for utility because now your melee weapon can be used so fast. Imagine you're using Deadwire on Terminus with an Amalgam because that's the elemental weakness, but then your melee weapon has Napalm Burst. You can shoot the Amalgam, go up to a Mangler, and then melee it without switching your weapon, and that Napalm Burst upgraded melee weapon is gonna be what you use. This is so good. Stick and move is the same. Strength training has been adjusted. This number of rounds you can one hit to kill normal enemies has been increased, so that's good. New Barista Brawl gain more essence from melee kills. Let's go. That's great. That's so good. Vulture Aid. Oh, are you guys are not ready. You guys are not ready for this. Vulture Aid, you guys are this is gonna be a crutch perk in Black Ops 7, I'm telling you now. Fetid Upgrade's the same, Smell Death's the same, Parting Gifts the same, Armor Matic. Picking up an armor plate automatically applies it to your vest. My mind was blown when this was said during the creator call. I couldn't contain myself. This is so good. Look, I know armor is contentious. I'm not entirely happy with armor myself, but so many people have been asking, I wish armor worked like it did back in Cold War. Here is an augment that does exactly that. And the way this is phrased makes it so that it's not going to automatically make you plate up. It's just gonna automatically apply it to your vest. And guess what? For those weirdos of us who like plating up, who think it's more strategic, we can use all of these other different major augments. And now what's really cool is that we can run 2 minor augments. So we could do like Condor's Reach, where we auto pick up loot from further away, which means we auto pick up armor from further away. This is so good. This is so good. Everything's the same here. Picky Eater, they actually decreased slightly how effective Picky Eater is, probably because everyone's just running Picky Eater. Again, I'm not mad about it. New, extra serving, special and elite enemies you kill will have a chance to drop a large essence vial. That's pretty cool. I'm telling you guys, this Armormatic, it's gonna change the way we play this game, man. It's gonna be great. Double Tap coming back on launch. Great to see it. Everything looks the same. Double Dealer, every 4th bullet in your weapon deals double damage. So that's essentially a 25% increase to your overall DPS. Double Tap continuing to be the best perk in all of modern zombies. No adjustments to any of these minor augments, that's fine. We've got Double Down. Bullet weapons have increased penetration damage through enemies. And what I'm really excited about Double Tap for is this extra minor slot, because again, we could have double or nothing. We could have double time with this double play getting ammo back, and now we can have double time with basically rapid fire and FMJ all in a perk. That is going to help so much on higher rounds. That testing is going to be hard to do, but I'm dedicated. We were going to figure it out. Quick revive here, adjustments here. Players with this augment now keep 5 of their perks when revived. That's great. Equivalent exchange. Now you always go into your last stand pose. Quick revive is no longer removed on use, and you keep all of your perks if you kill an enemy while down. This is what I wanted. I never got around to making a video about this, but this is so good. Everybody just ran Dying Wish because it saved you from going down, but equivalent exchange, you'll go down, but if you can kill a zombie, all of your perks will be saved. This might be the next best augment with Quick Revive. Dying Wish is still the same. Adrenaline Rush, killing a zombie or special enemy will start your health regeneration. That's probably the weakest one here so far. I don't think anybody's running that over equivalent exchange. Everything else here is the same. New emergency med kit. You can now craft a self-revive kit up to 4 times. That's a great one. Pretty cool. Quick Revive, never been my favorite perk. Probably not going to change. Deadshot here. Deadhead, further increase to critical damage. Bullets deal double critical damage if the enemy is at full health. I wish they adjusted that to include armored zombies. Dead again, critical hits have a chance of getting a bullet added to your magazine. Slight cooldown has been added. That's not good. This was by far not overpowered, so we'll see. Maybe that's just to nerf the Boom Smasher strategy, which again, I'm not a fan of. New, Dead to Rights. Bullets deal bonus damage to enemies within point blank range. This whoa, that's actually big. Depending on how big that range is, that could be huge. Shock Charge an Amalgam, run up there and deal some bonus damage. Dude, that's nice. That's nice. You might be dethroned, Deadhead. That sounds really cool. And it doesn't say critical damage, it just says damage. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. All of these seem to be the same. Dead Set. Reduce gun movement while performing advanced movement like jumping with the faster sprint out time. Okay. I didn't figure out what this augment even did, but sprint out time, I mean, it's still pretty worthless, but you know, it is what it is. Dead Heat, temporary increase your movement speed after getting a point blank kill. That sounds really interesting. Might be fun to use. Death Perception. Let's see if they can save Death Perception here. Everything's the same. Critical Eye, a small chance the body shot becomes a critical shot. A slight cooldown has been added and does not work with explosive weapons or wonder weapons. Boo, boo. We hate a balanced and fair game. Come on, no, it's fine, it's fine. I get it, but nerfing Death Perception is not the direction you should have gone, I don't think. Sixth Sense, see enemies close behind you and take less damage from behind. Ooh, less damage from behind might actually be clutch, especially for high round training strategies. That could be really good. I wonder if that pairs with Turtle Shell, and then you take less durability damage with Turtle Shell. Oh my goodness, that could be big. That could be big. They might have saved Death Perception. Bird's Eye View, of course. New hidden gems. Death Perception can now see loot. All right, they didn't like completely save it, but hey, every game's got to have a Death Perception. Stamina. This one I'm interested in here. Immune to fall damage. Enable tack sprint with increased duration. Okay, so this one, it's an augment with tack sprint. Cool. That's pretty nice, honestly. If you like tack sprint, here's the augment. If you don't, then don't. Hard target while sprinting, projectile damage is reduced. That is awesome. Increase non-forward sprinting speed. That also might be really good for training. We're gonna have so much to test. Oh, this is so good. Speed Cola. Everything seems the same. Ammo Surge. Gain a burst of speed when initiating a reload. That's pretty cool. Also could be great for training. Minor augments. Everything seems pretty normal. Reloading has a chance chance to not use stock ammo. Let's go. That's really good. That was actually that was Phantom Reload, wasn't it? I know this is Phantom Reload, but from Black Ops 4, that was a Gobblegum or an elixir, wasn't it? And especially if that works for wonder weapons. Ooh. So there's our fireworks. We just went over that. There's Brain Rot. Big Game, obviously more frequent. Charmed enemies deal toxic damage to nearby enemies. New Minor Augment increase the damage dealt by charmed enemies. That's pretty good. Napalm Burst leaves a pool of fire on the ground. That's really nice. Big Game adjustment, of course, having more frequent. New Backdrift increase the activation radius. That could increase the amount of zombies killed. Ooh, that could be good. Shadow Rift, let's go. Big Game is improved, of course. Gravity Well, Shadow Rift becomes a black hole that pulls in enemies before teleporting away nearby survivors. Ooh, I can't wait to test this out. Ammo Theorem, teleporting enemies away adds ammo to your weapon magazine from stock. That's pretty nice. That's pretty cool. Deadwire's back. I bet you they nerfed it. I'm just guessing. Big Game, of course, better. Bolt of Lightning, stunning, all that. Cool. Ball Lightning, activating Deadwire launches an orb that deals electric damage to nearby enemies as it moves. Sounds just like Dark Flare. New Minor Augment, Aftershock, enemies that are stunned by Deadwire have a chance to spread to nearby enemies. Interesting to retest that. It's already pretty good, but we'll see. Ooh, Cryo Freeze, already a good one. Big Game, this slows elite enemies more frequently. Great. Ice Cloud, a cooldown has been employed to adjust and lessen the number of ice clouds appearing. No! This was such a fun one. New one. Cold Company, Cryo Freeze has a chance to activate on more than one enemy at a time. That is probably gonna really balance this out. New Thermal Shock, enemies are damaged once they're unfrozen. Overall, not too bad. We've got the Toxic Growth Field upgrades. Let's go to Dark Flare, my favorite Dark Flare. Dark Pact, okay, the revive speed has been increased to ensure down players are revived more rapidly. That Dark Pact is a lot stronger than you might think. New Muzzle Blast, the beam now deals additional damage in a cone in front of you. Ooh, that sounds really fun. And that might be way more effective than the whole beam. That's actually really good. Broad Beam, Heavy Gloom, Extra Charge, yes. Dusk Flame, enemies that are hit by the beam are dealt additional shadow damage over time. Healing Aura, you guys are gonna like this. Healing Aura can now revive dead allies. If someone has bled out entirely, boom, Necromancer, that's going to be great. And Cornucopia, affected players get a health overcharge. Fantastic for boss fights. I'm excited for this one. Frenzied Guard. Fists of Frenzy. While frenzied, annihilate enemies with your fists. That sounds like it might be good for melee attacks. I wish there was more descriptions, but we'll see. Dual Layer. While Frenzied Guard is active, armor durability is increased. Frenzied Guard is a great field upgrade. I don't have much experience with it, but I'm excited to test it out. Energy Mine. We have a Smart Mine. Energy Mine has more detonations and waits for multiple enemies to be in range for each duration. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. No more wasting that energy mine on just one zombie. New Recycle. A deployed energy mine can be recycled for field upgrade charge. Interesting how that's going to work. I wonder if you just go up to it and interact with it or something. That's really cool. Ether Shroud. It looks like they haven't nerfed anything. We have After Image though. Distract enemies with a dark ether clone of yourself. So sort of like a built-in decoy. Instant reload, increase max charges by 1, increase the duration, and new, deal shadow damage to enemies on activation and increase your movement speed during Ether Shroud. Pretty good. And there are all of the augments. It goes into Gobblegums, but we've already seen that. But that is all of the augments covered. Now looking at all of my notes, there is one last thing that I don't think we've talked about yet. When you start a match of zombies, it will fade in from black. I know it seems like a small change, but especially with each map confirmed to have intro cutscenes for every single map, it will now fade in from black, which is gonna make it feel so much better. I have so many words, so many thoughts. You guys are getting so much Black Ops 7 Zombies content on this channel. Be sure to subscribe. There's still so much to talk about. They just released a brand new developer talk, which I'm gonna break down in a completely different video. I just want to thank you guys so much for all of your support throughout the last couple of years on this channel. It is crazy to me that I got invited to this creator call. I never thought this could happen. I'm so happy it did. I hope it's not the last one. And I have to attribute that invite to you beautiful people. You guys, every single time there's an event or something going on, I see a comment here and there. Where's Donuts? Why is Donuts not in this? And so I appreciate that. I hope you know I tried my best to be a good representative of you guys and take good notes. I feel like I could have done better, but there's so much to love about Black Ops 7. There's so much to be excited for. I will be breaking down the cursed mode, all of these augments, and the brand new trailers that they're releasing at this very moment, all throughout the next couple of days on my channel. So be sure to subscribe, and as always, stay beautiful.